chapter clicked in to College Volleyball Weekly on Viral Volley Media. Now here's your host, Rob on mic. Good day, everyone, and welcome to College Volleyball Weekly Beach Top 20. It's actually kind of transformed to Beach Top 10-ish, but we are in episode 297 here, and we have got Arizona State's Arden Besecker and Kendall Whitmarsh coming off of a week one of competition, which was highly anticipated. So, ladies, so great to have you on.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. Thank you.
It's actually Kendall's second time because I got to interview you with Jaden going into the NCAA Beach Volleyball Championships her senior year with a chance of you guys potentially facing off against each other.
Yeah, that feels like so long ago, but that was really cool.
Well, it's an exciting time. We've concluded week one of play. Sydney Miller of Hawaii and I did the preview episode last week, and this weekend did not disappoint. But before we talk about everything that's happened this season, I wanted to talk about your Arizona State team from 2025 under then second year coach. At the time was Kristen Rohr, but since then has dropped the Rohr and is now a Glattfelder. So, last season, you were able to get to the conference tournament championship match and fell to the eventual champion TCU of the NCAA. But looking back on that season, being that you two were on that squad, what were your key takeaways from playing in 2025 and the results that the Sun Devils had? And feel free to jump in, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, you want to start?
Yeah, I feel like last year was we had a lot of really cool moments. We went to Cal Poly, we upset at Florida State. We were able to go to Big 12, the first ever Big 12 championship, which was obviously super cool, and we were so close, and like getting to watch TCU win the Natty after was obviously awesome. But I think last year, after the year before, we had such a breakout stellar year, and we had a lot of different challenges last year, but I think we remained really steady. We kind of just stayed right where we were and very level, and we mixed up a lot of things with our squad, and it was cool to see how we finished. I think we had a really strong finish.
How about you, Kendall?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything said. I think that a huge takeaway, like Arden was talking about, playing TCU in the conference championship was we were 2 points away from beating the national champions of last year. And so I think that just having that mindset of we can do whatever we put our minds to, I think that that has carried into this year, even though we have a totally new squad and even just vibe to our team in general. I think that that mindset of grittiness and always being ready for the challenge has been really beneficial for our team this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, you have a pretty special coach in Kristen Glattfelder. I mean, she's, like, again, in second year of her season last year and now going into her third. But, I mean, she's able to get the girls to buy into the mission and get into the cause pretty quickly. But what do you think it is about her coaching style that is able to get your girls all dialed in as quickly as she has?
I mean, I can speak on this from having the collegiate like coaching switch, which I guess you have too. But I think the special thing about Kristen is that she genuinely has the belief in every single one of her players, and she is not only a great volleyball coach, she knows what she is talking about, and I think that that is very evident from the skill growth of our team, especially from my freshman year to my sophomore year. I saw my game just changed for the better. And I owe a lot and all of that credit to Kristen and her coaching style. And just again, how she treats her players is really, really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it's all in like the way she treats and like buys into us. Like I think that's been a huge slogan for like the program is buy-in and belief. And like she's been the starter of that. Like she preaches that every day. And so to have your head coach believe in you and like support what the program's doing and everything there is, I think, huge. And it makes everyone want to buy in and support the school and represent the program.
Yeah. You know, looking at the areas where you guys are from, obviously, Kendall, you're from the San Diego area, and everyone knows that there's a large well of talent there. But I've been realizing, you're from Cornelius, North Carolina. Is that correct? The name
I'm from Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas,
Yes.
even bigger pocket.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
but it seems that both those areas are really sending out so many, we'll say, high volley IQ, highly athletic, and physical beasts of athletes, be they defenders, blockers, or switch. But they seem to have a huge skill sets. But going into Division I volleyball and playing at the top level here, and potentially getting into a national championship like last year, because by my calculations, the eye test had you guys within a hair of getting one of the at-larges. But seeing the growth of where you were at in your juniors through high school and now in the Division I, getting that close to Gulf Shores, how does that motivate you going into 2026? Long question.
Yeah, I mean, it's our biggest motivator. At the start of the season, we talk about our goals, our ambitions, what we want in this season. And we also just talk about our whys, which is also something that Kristen has initiated into our team, is really thinking about your why. Why are we here? Why are we competing and um, living this lifestyle? Because it's not for the weak. Everybody knows it. Every student athlete knows that this lifestyle is made for tough women and men. But I think that just buying into ourselves and playing for our why is ultimately, a great motivator and what is going to ultimately get us to Gulf Shores this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, last year was hard. We were so close and like we did so much well. And so I think kind of like Kendall said, that's a huge why for a lot of us, especially returners. I mean, Gulf Shore's so special. It's such an incredible place and tournament, and we all want to experience that. I mean, you work so hard every single day to grind towards that. So just to have that kind of in the back of the mind that we've been able to go and then we've not been able to go, it just kind of pushes us to compete every single game this season.
Excellent. Well, with that, let's go into 2026. I want to segue into what has you most excited about competing here now that the season is 1 week in, and we'll start with you, Arden.
Yeah, I think just like we have such a special group this year. I like ever since we've returned it's just feel like we've all been working towards the same goal. Everyone has the same mindset, everyone's bought in, and it's really exciting after this first weekend to see like what we're capable of. I feel every pair and every person has that drive and that intensity. And I think it makes me really excited, especially having been part of this program for 3 years and just like see all of our senior classes growth and determination. It's really exciting that to start off how we did.
How about you, Kendall?
Yeah, I mean, we saw like a little sneak peek of what we could do in the fall, and
Mhm.
it was great. But honestly, start come February, we had a month of training since winter break. I knew that this team was going to be something really special. Like you can see it at our practices. There is so much competitive spirit, and honestly, it just at our practices comes down to iron sharpening iron. And you can see it in how we performed our first weekend. We are here to play this season for sure. And it's really, really exciting overall.
Well, with that, some of the other conferences have done preview shows, and I wanted to have you guys do a kind of a mini preview of the Big 12 conference
Yeah.
because, but before we jump to that, I wanted to see if you guys can talk a little bit about your Arizona State team, particularly about who we could be seeing on the sand for the Sun Devils here on out, or if it's something that's locked in after 1 weekend of play. Or am I putting you guys on the spot with that kind of question?
Are you referring to like our
Like if
lineup?
you were to say who if you're a fan that's coming across Sun Devil Beach Volleyball, who are some athletes you should be checking out on your squad?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm like everyone.
I feel like everyone. I
Yeah.
think I feel like every single one of our pair that's been out there or that like or individual player is so competitive and it just I think like kind of Kendall was saying, our team is so iron sharpens iron is the best way to describe it this year. And I think you could watch anyone out there and be like, wow, this is some great volleyball. It's high IQ, high level, honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for a name in particular, I think um I'm just thinking of the youngest girl on our squad or lineup last weekend, Zoey Taylor. She is insane. She's Arden's partner right now. She's an amazing
Yeah.
blocker. Playing against her in practice, everyone is like, gosh darn it. Like she is super physical and it has a really bright future and she's only a sophomore here.
Mhm.
So her future in this program is really, really bright,
Yeah.
along
Oh,
with everybody else in the lineup. But
Yeah. That's a great example. She's the only underclassman that was in our lineup this past weekend, and she really took just ran with it and did great, honestly.
well, obviously you two on the screen are of the higher level leadership on the team and junior and seniors and being with the program. But even just seeing you in your last few seasons, even on your prior teams, and obviously Kendall off the last 4 years, which is mind blowing. That's already been 4 years. But
Yeah.
um, I mean, the growth of the talent just in you guys individually and how that's transferring out to the rest of the Arizona State team has been pretty amazing. But we kind of mentioned before coming on about the well of talent on the squads, and with the conference getting bigger, adding two pretty solid teams with South Carolina with new head coach Jose Loyola coming over from UCLA, and then an easy team, Florida State, right? That's gonna be a real cakewalk. Another quality team with solid athletes, and then obviously the 2025 national champion in TCU. What is the Big 12 going to look like competition wise for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be a really competitive conference. I mean, last year, even with us, Arizona, TCU, and Utah, and there was just the four of us, it was still very competitive. That conference championship was every duel was really high level. Honestly, I feel like there was no cakewalks there, and I feel the same way that's going to be about this year. It's exciting to be in a conference that's challenging because I think that means you're playing the best of the best, and it just keeps us fired up. We have our kind of Big 12 middle of the season tournament in March at TCU, which will be exciting to get a feel for just where everyone's at and hopefully make a statement there as well.
Yeah. How about you, Kendall? Thoughts on that?
yeah, I totally agree. Honestly, no match or duel played in this conference will be a cakewalk. I don't think there even is a cakewalk in even the top
Anymore.
20
Yeah.
that everyone is capable of anything. And I
Yeah.
think that that's something that's really special and cool about beach volleyball in general is that all it takes is honestly the belief and grit of each team, and you can really do anything that you put your mind to. And yeah, again, that's just what makes the sport so cool and fun to watch and exciting to follow along during the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this last weekend, we'll talk about now this first weekend of play. I didn't realize that this tournament that you're in is basically a claim to the state of Arizona because Arizona's in there, Grand Canyon's in there in this Cactus Classic. But is there a pretty good rivalry with those other Arizona schools? And does Ottawa University also want to jump in? Or
Yeah. No, it's actually like engraved into our heads, the rivalry between any Arizona school. It's seen throughout, our entire university, even at our intro, not a pep rally, but
Like
like
athlete welcome.
yeah, the
It's
athlete
just
welcome.
like,
There's like the
Mhm.
Sparky video where
yeah.
he stomps on U of A's bus. Like
Yeah.
it's really engraved in every single student athlete that the rivalry is no joke. And no matter what sport, it's always, a personal thing between the schools.
Hmm.
Yeah. Arden,
Yeah.
anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, she hit it spot on. It's fun and exciting. It makes like the duels like really like just intense. I mean, we had come off of this weekend, like beating UC Davis, then TCU, and then we were playing GCU the next day along with Colorado Mason. We were like, no matter, it doesn't matter what's happened last week or anything, we need to like GCU. It's just that rivalry. It fires you up and it's exciting. It makes the season exciting to have those games come up and you feel like the whole school behind you sometimes, honestly, because
Mhm.
everyone is like, doesn't matter. They're like, oh, you're playing Arizona this weekend. It's just it's
Hmm.
exciting.
Hmm.
Was there a little extra or motivation for Kristen, being that it was her former school at GCU?
I I don't think so. I think that Kristen, she has so much respect
Hmm.
for the program, along with our other assistant coach, Josh Roper, who went to
Mhm.
school there. We treat it like every other match,
Yeah.
and of course, we want to win wholeheartedly every single match.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's more of the Arizona schools. We want to be
Yeah.
the best in Arizona,
Anyone.
and
Yeah.
then we'll move on to the bigger things like conference and
Yeah.
Gulf Shores and all the bigger things.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've been holding off on talking about this one match because, you know, no one really gets the sense of the intensity of the competition of one of the matches, and that was the upset of 2025 national champion
Yeah.
TCU. But, what did you play in two waves and go 2-4 and then 1-3-5? And can you guys walk us through how that all shaped out? Because, yeah, we can read the stories, but we want to hear it from the people that were in it,
Yeah.
which is you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we've talked about at conference last year, I think we've all had that in the back of our mind being so close to winning conference. So even just going in, we were all fired up and we were like ready. And we went in waves. We started out with 2-4-6 and our our twos, they had a great fight. They had a great battle in three to they're not exactly can't remember who, but their players. And then our fours were able to start us off and get a point on the board, making it 1-1, which was obviously really exciting. We were able to get some momentum going and just, we were able to see like, okay, like we're there. We're getting that 1-1 into a big duel like that is huge. And then we went 1-3-5 where me and Kendall were in that wave. And so I know that the our ones then were able to win next and get it going, get some energy, and then our fives clinched the duel, which was awesome and really exciting. We were playing right next to each other, so I didn't know that it was for the duel, but then after like seeing all the videos and seeing everyone like do that was really, really exciting.
Yeah, I think what's so funny about the waves, especially when you're playing like in season, is that you never really know what's going on because
Mhm.
we were able to watch the first set of
Yeah.
each, the ones and threes, or 2-4-6, sorry. So you watch the
Mhm.
first game and you feel the momentum and, the competitive spirit. And then you have to go and we have to warm up and just kind of block out everything else and only focus on your match and what you and your partner need to do to win that match.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, once our wave begun, I had no idea what the dual score was or anything until,
Nothing.
Darn, I was expecting some high drama explanation.
Uh,
in the third set
yeah.
for my match. It was both of the first two were so close, they were neck and neck. And then the third set came along and I noticed like or not all, but they were split like pretty evenly between Arden and I's courts. So we were like,
Mhm.
okay, like the other match must be done. I was like, I have no idea how Arden's doing,
Yeah.
so hopefully good. But
Something's going
but
on.
yeah, so I felt everybody come over to Liv and I's court, and I was explaining this to Liv because we were like, we had no idea that we clinched a duel. You could just kind of feel the energy shift to
Mhm.
when, a game truly, truly matters. Obviously, each game has so much importance, but when everybody came over and you kind of feel like the stress and anxiety and of the cheering. And
Mhm.
just the excitement overall. You're like, okay, I know this is
There's like a
for something
small,
bigger.
yeah, yeah.
So, so when we were playing and we ended up taking that game, and Liv and I obviously were so excited, but I remember Josh, our coach, he was like, "You guys just clinched a duel," and we were like, "Wait, no way! This is awesome!" Like,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
yeah, and
That's
then
awesome.
going to watch Arden right after, because like she said, we were right next to each other, and watching her close it out to be a 4-1 win was super, super awesome.
Well, I was looking at the order of finish, and your five pair, Kendall, and you, Liv, clinched it. But looking at the scores of Arden and Zoe's match, there's extended deuce sets in
Yeah.
the second set, so they could have clinched easily, but they decided to add a little more
Yeah.
drama in the second set.
She let me have it.
Yeah. It was nailed, but I know, I feel like it's always when it's like schools like that or it's just like games like that where it's so like back and forth, you just never know what's gonna happen. And going to a third always makes it really exciting and fun to extend the game for sure.
Well, that was the only the second duel of the
Yeah.
Cactus Classic. But I'm curious as to what Kristen said to you guys after that duel, or did you have to go right back into let's prep for our next one mode?
Um, I just remember her pep talk before kind of was, just firing us up. And I think that after it was just like I knew you could do it moment. And I think that I know that she just kept reiterating the belief that she has in our
Mhm.
team. And that's kind of just like our motto. And so
Yeah.
she just brought it all back to that and was just really proud of the performance that we brought. And again, was just happy that we were translating what she knows that we are capable of.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like belief is just like the thing we keep coming back to. They at the end, like we obviously everyone's so excited and just in the moment, and they were like we had faith the whole time. We knew y'all could do this. It felt genuinely like they were like we've believed this from the start for y'all. So it was really special and exciting way to like start the season and the weekend off.
Yeah. Well, it's an amazing weekend for Arizona State going undefeated at the Cactus Classic, 4-0, and arguably one of the teams that's hot out of the gate without a doubt because the recent AVCA poll came out just a few hours ago. One of the top movers of the week, going up two from 11 to 9.
Mhm.
Um, I was trying to find if that was the highest ranking in your program history but I didn't get to see the release. But I mean, still top 10, especially given the competition that's out there. That's pretty amazing. But wanted to get your thoughts on that accomplishment, even though it's just the poll and it's only 1 week, but still, it does say something about where the program's at.
Yeah, I think it's really cool and again really special to be making history in our program, especially with these group of girls. Um, our coaches just kind of they preach like don't care about the numbers. Polls are just polls, rankings are just rankings. At the end of the day, it's how you show up to each match and the performance that we give there and let the numbers do some of the talking, but it all just comes from how we are on the court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Kendall said, it's really exciting because I think a lot of us here have pride to represent this school, and like a lot of us are proud to be a Sun Devil, and so to be making this history for our this program where there's been a lot of history in like the athletic in the ASU athletic department lately is really cool, and I think it just keeps pushing us, fueling our fire. Like we're getting closer and closer, and just all of our work from the fall and January, it's exciting to see, and it just makes me more excited for what's to come. That we are just touching the surface, honestly, of this season. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at both of your pairs results because just for our listeners and viewers, Arden plays with Zoey at the threes and Kendall plays with Olivia at the fives. Both of you are 4-0, and I believe between both your teams, I think you've only dropped two sets over the weekend, one for each of you. And I think is that TCU for both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just one to TCU. We won the rest in two, right?
I think we went
Oh
to
yeah, you went
three.
three.
Yeah, but we won all of our matches, but we went to three, I think.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just a few
Yeah.
sets.
But I'm like, first weekend, that's all I'll take it.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it speaks to your performance because I mean it wasn't easy teams by any means, and out of the gate again, the TCU teams you beat were some of them are international professionals technically.
Yeah.
Some are big names that were on the junior circuit, highly touted recruits. So it does speak to the strength of your program right now and what Kristen's building there in Tempe.
Yeah, it does. I think that exactly what you just said. I mean, it's going to speak for itself as we get more into season, and I think that everyone will be, you know, no one is going to be able to sleep on anyone this season for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, we went into every duel this weekend focused, ready. Like we knew every team there was going to push, and every team did. Every game duel was competitive, which just like is exciting to see for beach volleyball and the sport and
Mhm.
the growth and for
Yeah.
everyone coming in. It's it's really exciting.
Well, with that, it had to be tough picking the Big 12 pair of the week. I know, congratulations to you, Kendall, and your partner, Olivia McElroy, but I think easily Arden and Zoey could have been the pair of the week as well.
Yeah, I'm,
So
I'm like, no.
We're like, we fought out for it. You
you
know,
guys did a
it was a
rock, paper,
battle.
scissors, shoot to get it,
I'll,
right?
I'll let her have it next week.
Well,
Oh,
congratulations. Huge
yeah.
accomplishment. I mean, especially given the competition that has been going on around the nation here too. So, and we know that the teams are solid that you were battling against this last weekend. So let's transition to the rest of the NCAA. I know that you guys are mad focused on what was going on at your event this weekend, but I
Yeah.
know some other results caught your guys' eyes. So I wanted to give you a chance to draw some attention to those other ones. So have at it. I'll chip in where needed or even ask a follow-up question here and there.
Please start us off.
I mean, I think we all were, it was big honors and hype to Hawaii for upsetting UCLA. What, like, that's on in their home state. That's super exciting. I think we had the honor to be there last year, and it's such a competitive first opener. I mean, it is just every game is a battle there in Hawaii, and so getting to keep up with that and the flipping was really cool. But I wanted to shout out to Hawaii and of course Sydney Miller for all of that
Shout out
weekend.
Sydney.
We love her.
That your fellow San Diegan, you got to give her a shout out, right, Kendall?
Yeah,
Exactly.
seriously. My ex-beach partner. Love you,
Yeah.
I did
Sid.
not know that.
More you know.
What?
She kept
Yeah.
it on the down low. Sorry.
Okay. She
Guys,
didn't
not
share.
talent. Yeah.
Well, that Duke Kahanamoku at Queens Beach, crazy day one. You had Stanford and USC going at it with USC upsetting, well, upsetting number two, and then you had that Hawaii UCLA upset.
Yeah, that
Then
was
you
great.
had Cal and Texas, which could have gone either way. Stanford, UCLA, and Stanford, another upset, and then
Yeah.
Texas USC.
Yeah.
No one left that weekend unscathed.
Uh-uh.
I think it's really cool to see like Stanford coming back from that and like I think they won the rest of their games that weekend and then went 5-1, which is awesome. Like that's that was a program that I've always loved watching them play and Andrew Fuller, it's a great so watching them be able to have such a good weekend was awesome for them.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I wanted to ask, I've been asking this question of other athletes, but, you know, if you, as your fellow athletes, you're observing across the nation, who are some of the teams that are going to be battling for the top that you're keeping an eye on? Not necessarily like because you're ponying on and being the fan, but who objectively do you think is got it to compete at the top?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I mean, Stanford right now is number one. Their program is always super strong. You can
Hmm.
never underestimate them. I think that they've proved it throughout all of their successes. Um, I mean, it's hard to say because just after the first weekend, we could look back, or we will look back on this and just see
Hmm.
how much things have changed, especially within the rankings and all the upsets that are bound to happen. I think, I mean, just everyone. I
Yeah.
want to shout out every
I
team,
know, honestly,
but
like
I
everyone.
mean, just like based off of like even Hawaii last year and
Hmm.
just seeing clips and videos, I think that LMU is always a very strong program that
Hmm.
will be battling, and I know that they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder for Gulf Shores, especially this year. And their program, just like Stanford's, is very strong, especially in the serving realm. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I have high hopes for them this season.
Yeah, I agree with all those completely. I think Texas, obviously, like after seeing like how quickly they've been able to rise up there is really cool also for the sport and exciting to see just like trying to get more schools involved. I think that's a great showing that
Yeah.
they can be like at that top. And I know they have a lot of really solid pairs. I think USC looked solid from what I saw like through watching media and like this weekend. I think I mean it's hard like all those schools all looked great. I think it's going to be a really competitive year. I think a lot of flip-flop around the like in the top 10. honestly, I think it's anyone's game, which is
Yeah.
exciting. I think that's really cool as well.
Yeah, I think it's so cool because throughout, beach volleyball history, it's kind of always been like, okay, UCLA, USC in the finals.
Hmm.
And I think that last year just proved it that having neither of those teams in the finals, nothing against those teams, I'm sure, but just seeing that,
Jaden.
yeah, I'm like, sorry, Jaden.
Like,
But just seeing that, any team
Yeah.
can be in it and
yeah.
anyone can make the finals, anyone can upset anyone. Just depends on the day and
Hmm.
who's really gonna bring it.
Yeah,
So
it's exciting.
Well, let me ask you this. The collegiate beach season is gnarly in that it's 8 weeks long. And like for instance, men's indoor is 16 weeks long and it's about roster management.
Oh.
What is roster management like in collegiate beach?
Oh, I mean, I can talk a little.
yeah,
I
please.
guess just, I mean, like you kind of said, in comparison, our season is like on the shorter end. And so I think it really is like, I know for our, like, at least our program and I think other programs, it's really just give it every game, you give it all you got. It's only 8 weeks. And so whoever's able and healthy and like, that's what we'll usually, I think, prioritize is just staying healthy, recovery, using that time
Mhm.
in between those weekends to just get to your full max recovery while getting a couple days of play in. And so I think it's a lot more of like once the weekend comes, it's all right, tape it up, put your sleeves on and get out there and you
Yeah,
got 2 days to compete and you give it all you can.
yeah, yeah, exactly that.
I think ours
Well,
will be
it's
interesting and
yeah. Well, I'm thinking more like those days where, it's 100-degree temperature, the sand's 120, you've played in two duels already that have gone extended deuce sets and gone three. I mean,
yeah.
it's like going like best of the West is crazy like that. You can play three in one day in
Mhm.
gnarly heat or crazy weather, or I mean, even where you're at in Tempe, it's not exactly cool. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
true.
it honestly, I think that's what's gives our program such a great leverage in so many senses because one, our sand is extremely deep, and our weather, I mean, it changes all the time, but starting now, it's going to be 80s and above. So
Well,
we honestly are when we get to California, we're like, oh, this is
yeah.
great, great
We
circumstances.
We
So
hit some crazy heats here for
yeah,
sure, which sometimes I'm like, why is this happening?
yeah.
But it's good for California where even just anywhere that's a little chilly, it helps us a lot for sure.
yeah. Well, going back to your team, I was looking down the line here at your schedule, and I mean, you guys have a pretty crazy schedule coming up here. This coming weekend, you've got Georgia State, number 19, Georgia State, and you play Arizona again in Nebraska. But then you go to, you guys host an event,
Hmm.
Hmm.
crazy Southern Miss, some other conference schools that are good names, and then East meets West. Then you go to Death Valley for the Death Valley Invitational. Then you go to TCU for that. I guess it's the Big 12 conference mid uh, tournament, and then the rest of the way, Cal Poly Center of Effort Challenge, which is Cal Poly, UCLA, Long Beach State.
I'm
Um,
like, we're gonna be busy.
I'm like, oh, there
Yeah.
you go. That's why
oh, I didn't know that.
we're here for like 3 weeks. And I
Yeah.
was like, I forget it does ramp up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we have a good, I feel like the last couple years I've been here, we've always had a really good schedule, a strong, like competitive, like we do not, we like, I mean, this weekend we started off the gate with some great competition. And this weekend, this Friday, we have two great teams ahead of us that we're really dialed in for. And every next weekend too, it's just every weekend there's something to be focused on. And I think getting to go to Cal Poly again and Death Valley, it's going to be exciting because they're all super high level. I'm excited to go to East meets West. I've never been to that one, so I think it'll be really good competition and exciting to see some of those top 10 teams as well.
Well, it's going to be a fun couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
looking forward to catching the Sun Devils in California. The East meets West. I believe I'm working that, so we'll
Oh,
have to connect
yay.
in person.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's exciting.
Um, With that, that concludes episode 297 of College Volleyball Weekly Beach Top 20, 10-ish, whatever we're going to go with here. But that's Arden Besecker and Kendall Whitmarsh of Arizona State. Now 9, moving up 2 here after week 1 of play, but we still have 7 more to go. But it's definitely worth watching. This weekend, is Arizona State streaming anything or Instagram living? Oh, your mom, Cindy Whitmarsh. They can follow her.
Typically, Cindy.Whitmarsh Instagram will always be live streaming.
Keep up with us,
Like
guys.
if I play, your daughters have their moms hop onto my mom's live stream.
Yeah. And be sure to follow Arizona State Beach Volleyball and the 2 athletes on the screen. Great social presence and obviously a fun group here.
Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
thank you for coming on tonight. I look forward to chatting with you here in the near future.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Rob.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to College Volleyball Weekly. Be sure to follow Rob Aspero at the Rob on the Mic on Instagram and at Rob on the Mic on Twitter.